Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to talk about the Pain Reaper, the 5th class that we have got revealed in Corepunk. That means we have now got 5 classes that we know all the masteries of, basically specs. Each class in Corepunk has 3 different specs, and now the Pain Reaper is a very interesting one. Let's go directly to it. So the Pain Reaper is born in the world of demons. Dreadful Pain Reaper casts terrible curses upon their enemies, leaving them to rot alive, spurred on by the flames of hell. Pain Reaper brings about massive destruction with their fire magic and torments enemy souls with their crescent blades. Sounds interesting. Let's talk about the first of the 3 specializations, also called Masteries, that we know from Pain Reaper at the moment. The first one is called Pyromancer, the second one is called Soul Eater, and the third one is called Warlock. But let's go back to the first one called Pyromancer and let's talk about what is special about this one. So the Pyromancer has like a passive, or you can say a special ability that does something. Each of the masteries has something you can say that is unique to the class or the mastery that makes it unique. So the special ability for the Pyromancer is every spell Pain Reaper casts gives them heat, which gradually fills the heat meter. Reaching the yellow zone at 50% of the heat meter grants all the Pain Reaper's abilities bonus effect. So that means on each of the spells we will see later that each of them have like a little bonus effect. Reaching the red zone at 100% of the heat meter grants all Pain Reaper's abilities 30% more damage. However, using any abilities in the red zone additionally cause an explosion that deals magic damage to Pain Reaper. So basically every time you cast a spell you have like a little orb like you have in Diablo. If you imagine the health orb, that one gets more filled. So when you are at 50%, all your spells get an additional effect, and when you get to 100% you deal 30% more damage, but you're also slowly killing yourself, and I'm pretty sure that your healer is not gonna like that. So that is you can say the passively special effect about the Pyromancer. The spells of the Pyromancer is 4 spells. We have the Q, W, E, R. The first one, the Q, is Pain Reaper throws a fireball that deals magic damage to an enemy, and if you are on 50% of the heat meter you get additional effect. A fireball deals magic damage to nearby enemies and range is increased by 3 meters. So basically it means when you are below 50% heat you just throw a normal fireball, but if you are at the 50% heat it also deals splash damage, and also the range of the spell is increased by 3 meters. You can see the cast time is 1.2 seconds, range is 7 meters, damage is 360, and cost is 41 mana, and cooldown is 3 seconds. The second spell, the W spell, Pain Reaper creates a demonic portal for 3 seconds. The portal slows enemies and starts to pull them in. When the effect ends, the portal deals magic damage, instantly pulls enemies to its center and roots them for 1.5 seconds. And if you are at the 50% heat, at the additional effect, affected enemies are not set on fire. Affected enemies are set on fire and take magic damage for 3 seconds. So basically, if you are at the 50% heat, it also makes them burn for 3 seconds. Really cool. Cast time is instant, range is 7 meters, damage is 210, damage over time is 145, the cost is 75 mana, and the cooldown is 15 seconds. The E spell, Pain Reaper dashes, leaving a trail of fire for 2 seconds that deals magic damage over time. Reactivating this ability returns Pain Reaper to the starting location, and if you are at the heat meter, the additional effect upon dashing, Pain Reaper explodes and dealing magic damage to nearby enemies. So basically when you start this, this path, this dashing, you explode and deal like massively explosion damage. So the cast time is instant, range is 4 meters, damage is 160. If you have the additional effect, then the explosion damage will be 195. The cost is 70 mana and the cooldown is 12 seconds. The last spell, the ultimate one, Pain Reaper calls down a meteor that lands at the target area, dealing magic damage and stunning enemies within the area for 2 seconds. Additionally, effect the meteor damage radius increased by 100. So if you have again the 50% hate meter, then you will have the damage, the explosion radius is increased by 100%. That is pretty amazing. Cast time is 1.5 seconds, range is 9 meter, damage is 425, cost is 195, and the cooldown is only 80 seconds. It's pretty cool. So this looks like a really cool, badass fire mage, and fireball, interruptions, like crowd control, dashing, a burst spell. Really cool fire mage. If it not was because I had to be main tank in my guild, or just tanking in the guild, this would definitely be a one I could thinking about maining. Really cool. So the next one we're going to talk about is the Soul Eater. Also very cool one. The special about Soul Eater is Pain Reaper's basic attacks have chance to drop soul shards. Picking up a soul shard grants Pain Reaper all their allies reduced by 1 second cooldown on all their abilities. The picked up shards return to the owners, dealing magic damage based on the spell power of those who picked them up. Stepping on soul shards, enemies destroy them. So basically, every time you deal basic attacks against an enemy as Soul Eater, you have a chance to actually split the soul out in small pieces on the ground. And if you collect them, you reduce your cooldown on all your spells, and also it goes back to the enemies and deal damage to them. But if the enemies, run on them, they just destroy. That is a pretty cool little gimmick, I would say. Really cool. So the Soul Eater spells, let's talk about them. The first one, the Q. Pain Reaper leaves in the direction the first enemy they collide with is rooted for 1 second, and Pain Reaper strikes them with 3 quick stabs, dealing physical damage and applying unhit effect. Cast time is instant, range is 5 meter, damage is 260, cost is 70 mana, and the cooldown is 12 seconds. That is a pretty cool spell that you just leap in a direction and you just stab them 3 times. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. The second spell is the W spell. Pain Reaper creates a Soul Shadow. Upon recast, Pain Reaper teleports to the Soul Shadow. The Soul Shadow detonates on contact with Pain Reaper to deal magic damage in an area. So basically, you're spawning a Soul Shadow, and if you use it one more time, you teleport to it, and when you come in close contact with it, it explodes and deal damage. Cast time is 1 second, range is 3 meter, damage is 200, cost is 70 mana, and the cooldown is 12 seconds. Pretty cool. So we have a leap spell, a teleport spell, and then we have the E spell. Pain Reaper lunges, stabbing with the crescent blades and dealing physical damage to all enemies in a line. If the ability hits at least one enemy, it can be recast. Pain Reaper cleaves forward, dealing physical damage to all enemies in a cone. So basically, we're getting a launch, we're getting a leap. So this guy here, he can basically jump around. If you can start with your Q, leaping, then after that you can E with launch for an enemy, and then again if you attack one, you can use it again, and it's pretty. This guy, you're not gonna escape this guy. He's gonna chase you down, and for real. And the cast time is instant, range is 4 meters, damage is 165. If you use it one more time, the cleave damage is 225. The cost is 33 mana, and the cooldown is 7 seconds. The last one is Pain Reaper chooses a target location, and after short delay creates a cage there. Enemies trapped in the cage take magic damage, and passing through an edge of the cage are stunned. And if you pass through an edge of the cage, you're stunned for 2 seconds. If the ability hits at least one enemy, it can be recast. Pain Reaper throws their blades in the target direction, dealing physical damage to all enemies they hit in their path. Okay, so you're basically making a cage, and if someone tries to escape it, they get stunned for 2 seconds. And also it sounds like then, and when you actually, if it hits an enemy, like if the enemy like gets stunned, or even if they just get like trapped, you can recast the spell then, and then you throw your blades at them, like throwing your 2 weird axes. I can't remember what the weapon was called, but yeah, you can throw those. So pretty cool. So you have like 2 spells where you can like hunt your enemy, you have 1 where you can teleport, and you have a prison. I mean, this guy, you are not gonna escape him if he attacks you in open world. Just saying it. Just saying it. Then we have the last one, the Warlock. The Warlock. The special of the Warlock. For every active damage or time debuff on an enemy, Pain Reaper's spell power increased by 5%. Woo. For every active buff on an ally, Pain Reaper gains 5% healing efficiency. On activating this special ability, Pain Reaper sacrifices 20% of their current health to shield them for 300% of the sacrificed health. Pain Reaper movement speed increased by 30% health. Is Pain Reaper's movement speed increased by 30%. Shield and bonus movement speed lasts 5 seconds. So that basically means if you have a curse acted on an enemy, you get increased 5% at spell power all the time, and if you have it on your friends, you get 5% healing efficiency. And then you can activate this spell where you actually sacrifice 20% of your health, but then you're shielding an ally for 20% of your health, and then 300% of that is shielding your friends. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. That is pretty strong. That is really, really strong. The Warlock spells is actually really interesting because the Warlock is actually kind of damage, but also support. The Pyromancer and the Soul Eater is purely damage dealing, but the Warlock could actually also be a supporter or a little healer in your group. It's actually pretty cool. Because the first spell, Pain Reaper launches a magic chain in a direction. This creates a tether between themselves and an enemy or ally. The tether lasts for 10 seconds. If the distance between the Pain Reaper and the target exceeds 8 meters, the tether is broken. Pain Reaper can basic attack and use other abilities. Tether with an enemy deals magic damage over time. Damage is increased over time. When tethered to an ally, Pain Reaper sacrifices a portion of the health and additional heals the ally. Healing is increased over time. So basically just for tell you what is going on. So you're basically creating a beam between you and either an enemy or an ally. If you throw it on an enemy, you just keep damaging, and it gets stronger over 10 seconds. Really, really nasty spell. If you cast it on one of your allies, you're basically sacrificing your own health to heal one of your allies. It's pretty cool. It is really cool. Because now you're probably thinking, but I'm gonna die if I heal one of my friends. Well, wait till we get to next spell. But the cast time here for starting it is 0.2 seconds. The range is 8 meters. The damage you're going to deal over time is 345. Keep in mind it scales with spell power. The health transfusion is 300. So you basically heals your ally for 300. And you're sacrificing 230% of your own health. So you actually sacrifice less than you actually heal. The cost is 70 mana and the cooldown is 12 seconds. Now the second spell comes, and this one makes your Q worth it. Pain Reaper applies a debuff that drains enemy health. It periodically deals magic damage and gives Pain Reaper equal amount of health and additional healing. It lasts 7 seconds. The ability can be affected by 2 enemies. And gives Pain Reaper equal amount health and additional healing. So that basically means you can cast this on 2 enemies and it will then deal 285 damage. And that 285 on each of the targets that it's going to take damage is going to heal you back. So when you use your Q on one of your friends, but you have this debuff upon another enemy, it doesn't matter because you're healing yourself while you're healing your teammates. It's a really, really cool combination of spells, and the person at Artificial Core who made this little combo here is a genius. I mean, this is a really, really cool combination. The cast time is 1 second, range is 7 meters, and damage is again 285, and the cost is 38 mana. I really love this. And I mean, if you're not gonna heal your friend and just gonna damage someone, it's gonna be crazy strong. That you can debuff someone, and then you can also again use your chain with him, and it's like 2 damage over time abilities at the same time on one enemy. Insane. Then we come to the E spell. Pain Reaper debuffs an enemy after a delay of 1 second. Their next basic attack against the debuff enemy strike the enemy with fear the last 2 seconds. When the fear effect is activated, the ability can be recast on an ally, binding their and the enemy souls together. When the fear effect expires, debuffs are triggered. They deal magic damage over 10 seconds and reduce the movement speed by 30 seconds for 3 seconds. The soulbound ally is healed by the amount of damage dealt and gets additional healing depending on your spirit. Wow, that is really cool. So basically, you're casting a spell on an enemy. After 1 second, you can then attack the enemy with a basic attack, and then he gets feared for 2 seconds. After the fear, you can reactivate the spell to link the enemy's soul with one of your teammates. Maybe yourself, not 100% sure, but maybe yourself, but your teammates. And then it's gonna make a debuff, a curse on the enemy that deals damage over 10 seconds, makes them run slower for 3 seconds, and then all the damage over time deals is gonna heal the person that you chained them with. The soulbound ally is healed the amount of damage dealt. Wow. So the cast time is 0.5 seconds, the range is 7 meters, the damage you deal is 290, so that can also heal your teammates. The cost is 70 mana, and the cooldown is 12 seconds. I'm just saying, but I really think this Warlock, if this Warlock is going to go up in a lot of spirit, and the passive healing talent also beside of this, I actually think this Warlock can be a pretty potentially good healer. I think the Warlock can actually be a really sustainable healer if the Warlock is getting a lot of spirit gear and take the passive healing tree. Yeah, definitely. The last spell is the ultimate one. Pain Reaper damage or time effect explodes on all affected enemies, dealing damage per effect. For every active Pain Reaper healing effect, allies restore their health. After the explosion, the effects remain active on their target. So basically, if the enemy has a debuff, it creates a lot of damage on them instantly. If you have an ally that has an effect on them, it heals them. So you can see the cast time is 0.6 seconds, the range is 12 meters. So if any of the enemies have a debuff on them, it deals instantly 130 damage. If one of your allies have an effect on them, it heals them 175 instantly. Costs 95 mana. And this is the first ultimate spell we see with at so little cooldown, and it's 25 seconds. Really interesting. So basically, that was the Pain Reaper. We have now talked about the Pyromancer, the Soul Eater, and the Warlock spec. And keep in mind, this is like specs in World of Warcraft, where you have, like example, the Warrior, who can be Arms, Fury, or Protection. So this class have 2 pure damage dealing specs. I mean, the Warlock is also damage dealing spec, but it can definitely also be a support / off healer. Really cool. I like it. I like it so much. So thanks for watching, everyone. Leave down a comment, let me know what you think about the Pain Reaper. I'm a big fan of it, but I'm not gonna play it because I'm gonna be a tank. So this guy doesn't have a tank spec, so that's why I'm not gonna play it. But still, what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. Have a nice evening, Happy New Year, and see you in another video. Peace out.